Hola, ¿cómo estás? And welcome to the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey, this is Cracker. And today we're going to review the film School Ties. It came out in 1992. Do you know who's directed by? Some guy. Directed by a feller. And stars Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris McDonald.
Chris
Oh,
O'Donnell,
Chris
not
O'Donnell.
McDonald.
Chris O'Donnell. I might have said that wrong in the other one too. Chris
Fucking dumb as
O'Donnell,
hell.
Cole Hauser, just a shitload
Cole
of
Hauser's good.
actors.
I like Cole
Very
Hauser.
good actor. And it was so saying in the other, really quick, there's a guy named David Green, played by Brendan Fraser. He's Jewish. He's in his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. He's the
And this takes place during the 50s, I think.
yes, 57, I want to say
Hmm.
exactly. And he's the big shot hometown quarterback hero. Everybody likes him, except for the biker gang he gets into a fight with at the beginning of the movie because he's Jewish.
Hmm.
He gets recruited by this big fancy prep school out in
Hmm.
Massachusetts that's a pipeline to the Ivy League. Everybody's going to Princeton or Harvard or Stanford or some other ford. And so he goes out there, but then his dad, his coach, and everybody else who knows he's Jewish says, not so much with the Jewishness,
Hmm.
keep it mum because these are all, wasps, elite, rich white
What does
people.
WASP actually stand for?
White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. So not us. We're
I
not
always
invited.
wondered that because I like the band WASP, but that stands for We Are Sexual Perverts. And there's always that stupid Family Guy joke where they're going from door to door, like looking at the families, and they're like, "Oh, look, a family of wasps," and it's a bunch of like
And
people.
literal wasps.
And it was a bunch of no, it was a bunch of like stuck up people having a fancy dinner, and I never knew what WASP actually
Well,
meant.
okay. Yeah, so white Anglo-Saxon
The
Protestant.
more you know on the Whitey the White Guy
Yeah.
channel.
So
Anyways,
the fuck where
sorry.
were we? So he goes there, doesn't tell anybody he's Jewish because he was told not to. And then he, initially gets along with all the guys,
Chris
kind of
O'Donnell.
wins everybody. Chris O'Donnell's his roommate.
Mhm.
Everybody else, Ben Affleck, Cole Hauser, those guys are all his classmates.
Did you say
And
Matt Damon was in this too?
yes,
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon plays a guy who thought he was going to be the quarterback and has
Hmm.
this blonde girl. Brendan Fraser steals his girl from him like the cock that he is. So Matt Damon's upset. And then Matt Damon finds out he's Jewish. And then someone finds I don't want to spoil it here, but somebody finds a cheat sheet. Someone cheated on tests and
Hmm.
some of the students to, they end up pointing at each other as the guy who did it, so the other students have to decide
Hmm.
who they're going to totally like, because the professor says either turn in who did it amongst the kids in this history
Or I'll
class,
fail you all.
or I'm failing everybody, and that fucks everybody out of
Hmm.
Princeton and Harvard, and it's really makes their day a lot more difficult. So do they save their own asses? And then because he's Jewish and because he didn't lie, he omitted that he was
Hmm.
Jewish. A lot of bigotry comes out
Hmm.
and he has to deal with that kind of shit. So at first, everybody likes
Hmm.
him, and then nobody will talk to him because he's Jewish. And that's the movie School Ties with Matt Damon. What did you think of School Ties with Matt
I
Damon?
enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Not fantastic,
Mm.
but I liked, until you find out they're, anti-Semitic assholes. Every
Right.
character here is really likable.
Yes.
You know.
And they're not necessarily all anti-Semitic. Chris O'Donnell goes to bat for
Hmm.
him. A couple other guys. Cole Hauser stands up for him ultimately.
Hmm.
So, and that's the one thing I liked about it because if you're alive, or you're breathing, you've seen this story before.
Hmm.
The same basic concept. They were the first all black basketball team. They were the first all black. You're like, oh God, this
Yeah.
movie. This is that concept being done well.
Hmm. Very well.
And usually the bad guys are just bad. And it's just like, why are they bad? Oh, because they're bad. And the
Hmm.
good guy is just too good
Hmm.
and has no flaws. Here, there's all the different rich white guys react differently.
Hmm.
And so there's a spectrum of reaction
Right.
to what's going on. The girlfriend ultimately doesn't want to talk to him, but not because she has a problem that he's Jewish, but because of the shit she's getting from her
It'll
family,
hurt her
from her
reputation.
friends. And so it's like, no, there's one or two guys that are just anti Semitic.
Hmm.
Most of them are just like, I just don't want to get fucked over by
Right.
this grade thing. And so and then, there's shifting. It makes them all question
Hmm.
their beliefs and
Hmm.
stuff on the matter. And so like Cole Hauser starts off not liking Jews, and then he's like, but David Green's a good guy.
Yeah.
So I liked that it wasn't boring and flat. There was a
No.
lot of dynamic to what was going on.
First off, praise is a generous word,
Yes.
but I'm going to praise Brendan Fraser here
Yeah.
because when I first saw him, it was Encino Man, which I
And you
love.
will never recover from that.
No, I love Encino Man.
Okay, but he was so
he's
goofy.
playing a dumb, goofy caveman there.
Yes.
If you've seen his latter films like Blast from the Past, he's like a dumb, innocent guy.
That movie.
George of the Jungle.
We might have to review that.
Good,
That
because
movie's a fuck in the butthole. If you don't like it in the butthole.
I love that movie. Anyways, but dumb and innocent. George of the Jungle. He was Dudley Do-Right. He was in the Mummy film, so he's a likable dumbass in those films. But here,
he's not a dumbass.
He's not a dumbass. He's likable. He's giving a chance to act.
Yes.
And he's really, really good.
He's always been a good actor. I think
he just fell in
like
that.
You're pointing to. He got into certain.
Yeah.
roles.
What is it? Typecasting. They typecast him as like the dumb hunk.
Yeah.
He's always the good-looking guy who is a little bit dumb. Here, he's the good-looking guy who's smart. He's popular. He's good at school, and his acting is really, really good. He's like, you're gonna shit your pants when I say this. Give Arnold Schwarzenegger a chance to do drama.
Oh, I just put these underwear on.
No. Give
I've been eating nothing but macaroni and cheese all day. You're tap dancing on a very dangerous precedent here. So
give Brendan Fraser a chance. He shows he can act.
Okay.
I'm not talking about 90s and 80s Arnold. I'm talking about circa 2006 and on.
Right.
Maggie, very great movie. Escape Plan, very good acting in that too. Sabotage, very good. The Last Stand, very good. Say what you will about those films, Arnold, it's still, some of them are actiony, some of them are actually dramas, straight up dramas. Given what he can do, what he's got, he does a good job trying to be dramatic. So Brendan Fraser, the dumb bohunk, is given a chance to act, and he shows he can do it.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I meant with the Arnold comparison. Arnold's known for the puns, the body, the action, stuff like that. But in Maggie, he's really good at being dramatic. Like I said, Sabotage, he's really good at being dramatic. Last Stand, Escape Plan, highly recommended Arnold doing drama, circa 2010 and on, after he was governor.
Yeah.
Type of thing. That was my comparison with Arnold.
I hear your point. And Brendan Fraser, given the right role, he's perfectly capable of a solid dramatic performance. He did one more recently. I am not going to know the name of it, where his kids have some kind of life-threatening medical condition. Not life-threatening, but like life-crippling. And he's the father that contacts the doctor, and they come up with the cure. He did a really fine job.
But the acting is really good here too. Like Matt Damon. This was pre-Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
Matt Damon's really good here.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Cole Hauser.
I love Cole Hauser. I love Dazed and Confused, Pitch Black. Anytime Cole Hauser shows up, you'll like his character, even if he is an asshole. There's something about him that he's really good.
But he plays an asshole. You're like, God, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
He's an asshole in Dazed and Confused, but you like his character. That's what he always plays, like the likable asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his fucking name. Magoo? The guy who plays Magoo.
I don't know his name.
He's in Adventures in Babysitting, and he's in Road Trip. He's in a lot of films.
That's a good point, because a lot of these guys, even people really
went
on to do a lot of stuff.
Magoo is the only one. I'm just going to call him Magoo because they call him Magoo because he's got Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
He's the only one in this film that I think actually does hate Jews.
Yes.
Because he's the one that's always making, Jew remarks. He Jewed them out of the.
A lot of the guys, somebody says something and they're kind of just laughing along. He's the guy that really has resentment. Mm-hmm. There's one other guy who plays a small role. I don't even know the actor's name or anything. But there's like two guys who are like sincerely bigoted, and then just like a spectrum of concern, ranging from fairly indifferent to give the guy a chance.
And I mean, I really like the scene. Everybody's seen the scene so many times. I mean, it's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Where he gets the bed sheet on his wall and it says "Go Home, Jew" with a swastika, and then of course school ties. and he what does he do? He then writes a note and then he like sticks it on someone's door with like I don't know if it's a knife
And
or
he
if
just
it's a,
stabs it into wall with something.
and then he challenges them to meet him outside. Whoever wrote
Yeah.
the swastika, go home Jew. And like I said, it's in the trailer. Everyone they've parodied it in fucking Family Guy,
Yes, they did.
where he's just standing out there in the rain and he's staring at the lit up room, and everyone's afraid to fight him, and he's just yelling "cowards" at the top of his
Yeah.
lung. And like I said, it's really cool. In that scene, Brendan Fraser was scary because he was pissed off. I guarantee you, he might not have beat the person to death, but he was going to kick the shit out of him.
I don't even know if you ever find out exactly who did it.
Yeah, you don't know. It could have
Yeah.
been Magoo. It could have been Matt Damon. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
But the intensity in Brendan Fraser's performance in that scene was believable because there's two ways it could have gone. Two things that could have happened in that scene. You could have been like, yes, he's believable. He's pissed off. If anyone would have gone out there, he would have beat the shit out of him. Or you would have laughed because of how hammy it could have been.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Fraser did really good there.
Mm-hmm. He did a very good job in this film. Matt Damon, of course, gives a really good performance. But the interesting thing about Matt Damon's performance is that they actually start out buddies.
Okay, Magoo is
and then become-
Magoo is Anthony Rapp.
Okay.
Okay, from Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
But they start out. Their relationship is fairly fluid through the movie. They start out buddies, and then Matt Damon makes some anti-Semitic remarks, and Brendan Fraser has to just kind of take it in the teeth and just not respond to it.
Yeah, and they eventually.
Yeah.
It eventually, that happens where they're in the shower, and Matt Damon, I think he makes one Jew remark too many, and then Brendan Fraser just hauls off and knocks the shit out of him in the shower.
Yes.
And that's another intense
That's once
scene.
everything is kind of come to the fore. Before that, they're sitting there just doing their hair for the dates and stuff, and they're talking about someone. And what's interesting is somebody says, you don't want to go to Harvard. Someone's like, why not? It's like, oh, there's other Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt Damon's kind of like, you don't have to hang out with them if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But then Brendan Fraser's sitting there's like, how would you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Damon's like, how would you not know? I didn't even say heap. And then Brendan Fraser covers it by throwing some powder in his face, and he's like, not my hair. And so he has to hide that and just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
And then later in the film, of course, they go. There's a character in here, I forget his name offhand, who has a mental breakdown because his French teacher's riding his ass too hard, and it shows the strain that they're under. Well, Brendan Fraser's from middle class Stratton. Where is it?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. If he makes it, he makes it. If not, he'll be fine. These guys, there's really no choice. They have to get into Princeton. They have to get into Harvard. They're fifth generation, whatever university. So if they fuck it up, there's a lot of pressure on them, and it drives and motivates some of their frustrations later on. But for this guy, it just shatters him that he's failing French.
Right.
He has a complete breakdown. So in the next scene, Matt Damon and Brendan Fraser are sitting there talking, and Matt Damon, they're getting along and everything. But then Matt Damon loses his quarterback position to Fraser and his girlfriend, and his life's kind of kicking him in the balls, and he takes it out on Brendan Fraser. And then he finds out that Brendan Fraser's Jewish and uses, turns everybody against him. And they become enemies, but it's excellent performance.
Oh yeah,
by everybody, a very good performance.
And like I said, it's really cool seeing how these early roles do people. I mean, not so much Chris O'Donnell anymore, but he became big in the '90s, and fucking Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, their careers have exploded.
Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Chris O'Donnell ended up being Robin, and now Ben Affleck is Batman. Fucking hell.
And Cole Hauser was in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, and Brendan Fraser was the Encino Man. But anyways.
No, he was George of the Jungle.
Yeah, who got screwed in that one?
Wow.
Which I've never seen though, but I'm sure it's shit.
That's gotta be fucking a hard day at the reunion. Hey, what'd you go on to do? I went on to do Batman. What'd you go on to do? I went on to go do Robin. What'd you go on to do? George of the Jungle.
But anyways, like I said,
Encino Man.
Brendan Fraser should not be embarrassed about this film. Because of the joke we're talking about. Brendan Fraser's like, well, at least I can act. Chris O'Donnell, you're in the worst Batman films that were out there. Anyways,
But this, and at this heyday, they were still young and had hope and hadn't completely fucked up their lives.
hmm
So, excellent, good,
yeah,
well directed,
yeah, it
very
is.
good looking film, well written,
hmm
good performances. There's really nothing negative to say about this film in and of itself. It's just
We've seen the story so many times,
25
but
years later,
yeah.
it's like, fuck me, this one again. But this was back in the day where you hadn't seen it
hmm
quite as much. So,
Yeah,
it's a good film.
definitely
Reasonable
recommend it.
score.
It's not great, but it's really, really good,
Yeah,
And the thing is, these type of dramas that we've seen a million fucking times before, it's paced well, so I was never bored.
right. And that's impressive because there's a couple football
hmm
sequences. There's the one, like you were saying, a couple fights, but there's not a whole lot of action in here.
hmm
It's purely just performance
Yeah.
and good writing.
And then the thing is, in the end, you already mentioned about the whole cheating on the test thing. When and it's like it turns into like a little courtroom drama with them stuck in a
Yes.
room together. That was never boring either.
No, I
You
thought
know.
they did a really
Yeah.
good job.
I
Wait,
definitely I do recommend School Ties.
yeah, absolutely. I recommend for me, if you have not seen, go check it out.
hmm
100%. So that's it here from the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey. This is Cracker. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Have a good night and good journey.
Good
Good journey.
journey.
Oh.